have to be honest, as a scientist, everything she said was correct. I want to get a picture of the crowd, but of course now my phone's not working. Technology. I think it was Adam Savage who said, the difference between fooling around and science is writing it down. So, as a scientist, I decided to write down what I wanted to say because I thought it was too important to actually get it wrong. Because we're all here because we love science. And this may shock you, I love science as well. I always have, my whole life, literally since I was a little kid. You know, I was into dinosaurs and I was into astronomy and all that stuff, the usual cliches. And I loved the exploration of it, the discovery. And it was later in life when I learned to love the process, the doubt that gets injected, the desire to find where your idea may be wrong, where your observations and experiments might be flawed, and where your conclusions and even your thoughts going into the process itself could be swayed by bias. It's hard, it's damn hard, but I've tried to live my life applying those same critical thinking skills to everything, including my politics. Now, sadly, thank you, but sadly that is not a two-way street. While we might all try to be scientific in our politics, politics has not been quite so kind to science. Stop me if you've heard this before. These two fields of human endeavor start from different perspectives. So some tension can be expected from that, especially if politics to you is more important than facts. Politics and the political process don't have to be antithetical to science and the scientific process, but they can be. And once they start down that merry path, all bets are off. Politics can twist science, it can twist the scientific process itself, especially when the funding for science comes from the government. Hey, don't like climate change? Question the scientists, question their motives, cherry pick the data. Do you think the Earth is 6,000 years old? Well, then do the same thing and mandate it be taught in school. Who needs that First Amendment? Yeah, boo, thank you. Don't think vaccines are effective? Play up the bad data. Rely as much on anecdotes as you can and ignore study after study showing their efficacy. Okay, you're applauding what the deniers are doing, so I'm just pointing that out to you. There we go, thank you. These attacks on science are motivated by various factors. Ideology sometimes, or perhaps fossil fuel funding, say. But the result is the same no matter what the impetus. Denial of reality. And once you embrace that denial, it needs to be sustained despite all evidence against it. And the best way to do this is to accuse the scientists of doing what the accusers, what the deniers themselves are guilty of. Falsifying data and coveting funding. You hear that a lot. And then comes the greatest hypocrisy of all. Oh, this one. Politicians saying that science has become political and partisan. They themselves made it that way. Let me ask you, and this is, think about this. Is a gun inherently political? In and of itself, not really. It's a tool, it's just a thing. But if I walk with one openly down the street, you can be damn sure I'm making a political statement. Is a uterus political? You wouldn't think so, but apparently having one and deciding based on copious evidence how it should be used is making a political statement. Is skin color political? It is when it's used to marginalize and suppress. Is science political? We'd like to think it isn't. But the conclusions of science often run counter to what people want to believe. And that perforce thrusts science into the political arena. And mind you, science is done by scientists, by humans. This is what a lot of people, even scientists and some skeptics, tend to forget. Keep politics out of science. Yeah, right, we can carve that on its headstone. Keep politics out of science. I'll ask climate scientists if they agree with that. Don't let gender and identity politics interfere with promoting science. I'll ask women and people of color and marginalized groups how they feel about that when they can't do any science because of the political climate, and no one will listen to them or lift a finger to help them. Perhaps no tool is political in a vacuum, but science doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's an endeavor performed by humans, and as such, it is, has been, and ever shall be politicized. And there's more to it than that. This Congress, this president, haven't just politicized science. They've weaponized it. They've used it against itself and organized against it. They are threatening our very existence as a nation and as a species, not just due to their denial, but from their active attacks on science. That is correct. We have to stop this. We have to stop this. We are the lovers and the doers of science, the supporters of science and the scientific process. We have to make our voices heard. We have to speak up and we have to vote. When it comes to science, facts do not speak for themselves. They need advocates. Be those advocates. Thank you.